You might be damaging your reputation in ways you don't even notice. There are habits so subtle, so ordinary, that we convince ourselves they don't matter. But these tiny behaviors stack up silently, and over time, they erode the respect people have for you. The worst part? Most people repeat them every single day without realizing how deeply they affect their relationships, their work, and their self-image. In today's video, I'm going to reveal 4 toxic habits that quietly sabotage your credibility. If you want to be taken seriously, respected, and remembered, not for noise, but for presence, then you need to eliminate these behaviors completely. But before we start, I want to say something important. This channel, Stoicism Every Day, exists because of you. Every like, every insight you share in the comments, every time you send a video to someone who needed it, that is what fuels us to push deeper into this philosophy. Seeing this community grow in wisdom, strength, and intention is a privilege. So truly, thank you for being here and becoming part of this journey. Respect rarely disappears suddenly. It fades slowly, chipped away by small choices we don't question. And if there's one philosophy that exposes these blind spots with brutal clarity, it's Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If someone can prove me wrong, I'll gladly change." What he meant was this: growth starts the moment you're willing to examine yourself honestly. That's what we'll do today, without excuses, without judgment, just truth. These 4 habits seem small, but they can weaken your image, and even worse, your confidence. I say this from experience. I've practiced all 4, and until I applied Stoic principles consistently, not perfectly, I never understood how much they were holding me back. So get comfortable. What comes next may be uncomfortable, but it could transform how others see you and how you see yourself.
1. Gossiping, the quiet leak that sinks trust. The first behavior that destroys respect is one most people don't even question: gossiping. It feels harmless, almost like a glue that binds a group together. A little story here, a little rumor there. But here's the truth. If someone gossips to you, they will gossip about you. And when you participate, even passively, you send a loud message: I cannot be trusted with what is private. Let me share a moment that changed my perspective. Years ago at a job I had, there was a coworker, let's call him Daniel, who kept to himself. He was soft-spoken, hardworking, the kind of person people overlooked. One afternoon, someone found out he'd recently broken up with his girlfriend, and within hours, his personal struggle turned into office entertainment. Suddenly, it became a running joke. The next week, Daniel didn't show up. Later, we found out he'd asked to transfer to another department, not because of the breakup, but because he felt humiliated. That's when it hit me. Gossip is not conversation. It's cruelty wearing the mask of connection. Epictetus warned, don't speak about others unless necessity demands. People notice who elevates conversations and who lowers them. Respect yourself enough to stay out of small talk that shrinks your character. 2. Being unreliable, when your word loses its weight. The second habit that destroys respect faster than almost anything is unreliability. Today, everyone makes promises, but very few follow through. When your word becomes flexible, so does the respect people have for you. A few years back, my cousin invited me to a graduation dinner she'd planned for months. I told her, confidently, I'll be there. But on the day, I was exhausted. I convinced myself she'd understand if I skipped just this once. I sent a casual message canceling. When she answered, her message wasn't angry, just distant. And that hurt more. Because in that moment, I realized I hadn't just skipped an event. I had shown her she could not rely on me. Seneca wrote, "A promise is a debt. And when you break it, people stop trusting not just your words, but your character." Reliability isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. And consistency is what respect is built on. 3. Interrupting. When impatience speaks louder than you do. The third respect-killing habit is interrupting. It seems small. Everyone does it occasionally. But every interruption communicates, your thoughts are less important than mine. When I first started working with my mentor, I constantly jumped in while she spoke, not out of rudeness, but excitement. But one day she stopped mid-sentence, looked at me calmly, and said, "Are you listening to understand or listening to reply?" That question stuck with me. Epictetus famously said we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Listening isn't passive. Listening is an act of presence. When you interrupt, you appear impatient, anxious, and self-centered, even if that's not your intention. But when you practice intentional listening, people instantly feel more respected around you. And respect multiplies in environments where people feel heard. 4. Complaining excessively. When negativity becomes your identity. The last habit is one almost everyone underestimates: complaining. A complaint feels like relief in the moment, but repeated often, it becomes a personality. I fell into this trap years ago during a stressful period. Everything became a reason to sigh, rant, or criticize. Until one day a friend told me bluntly, "It feels like you carry a storm cloud everywhere you go." It was harsh, but true. When you complain constantly, you train your mind to look for what's wrong. And people instinctively distance themselves from someone who drains more than they give. The Stoics remind us, if it's within your control, change it. If it's not, accept it, but don't complain about it. Respect grows when your presence brings clarity, not chaos. Final thoughts. The path back to respect. Today we uncovered 4 subtle habits that quietly corrode your image. Gossiping destroys trust. Being unreliable weakens your word. Interrupting reveals ego and impatience. Complaining turns you into a magnet of negativity. The good news, every one of these habits can be replaced with discipline, with awareness, with small daily corrections. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no time proving your worth. Live in a way that makes your worth obvious." If you begin today, even with one small change, you will notice a difference. Your relationships will feel lighter, your presence will feel stronger, and the world will respond to you with more respect than you ever imagined. Because respect, like character, is built quietly, one choice at a time.